Hi guys, my name is Tito. I make videos on personal finance on my other channel. On this channel, I talk about other things like today when I'll be reviewing the new Nollywood film on YouTube, A Happy Ending. When a Canada-based novelist comes back to Nigeria to get inspiration to meet a deadline to finish his latest book, he meets a beautiful young woman at a massage parlor that offers happy endings, and the two quickly fall for each other. He then proceeds to lie about his profession, and he writes a whole new book based on her life without her knowledge before he plans to return to Canada, all the while falling for her and getting closer to her two young siblings. Now, I'll be honest, when I saw the title of this film on Instagram when they were advertising it before it came out, I was quite curious. Would this film be like a play on words, of the title, or would they actually head on, face that term or, incorporate that term in the film, a happy ending? And it also led me to wonder, what exactly is a happy ending? I have an idea of what it is, but did I have the right idea? So here is the Urban Dictionary. Everything in this review just seems tongue-in-cheek based on this title. The Urban Dictionary definition of a happy ending: when a masseuse feels inclined to finish your session with oral dash or manual release, usually for an extra $20. Another definition is a massage that is normal until the end, where you turn over or ask for a full body massage and the masseuse, usually Asian, that is so racist, takes off the towel and gives you a, let's call it a handy J. It usually costs extra. So I guess now we all know what exactly a happy ending is in urban parlance. That said, or that under our belts, let's look at the performances in this movie. Deyemi Okanlawon. Deyemi plays Timmy, this writer of erotic novels, and the guy seems to be a bit of a douchebag. He's brash, he's forward, he seems to be a bit of a manipulator. He wants to get his way or, achieve his goal by any means necessary, right? And I think because of that, this was a bit of a different character from the characters I've seen Deyemi play in recent times. And that made his performance in this film somewhat refreshing. Because typically Deyemi plays the good guy, Once in a while he's the antagonist or he's the bad boy. But in this film, it was a bit of, bad boy, but also, charming guy, kind of. So it was a bit different and I appreciated it based on that, funny enough. And another thing about Deyemi's performance in this film, Deyemi has been in the gym lately, I guess, and because of that, perhaps he jumps at any opportunity to be shirtless in movies. And I mean, hey, good for him. I guess we all wish that we could be more comfortable in our own skin, bearing our chests and all that. So in this film, basically, there are a number of scenes where he's shirtless in the movie. I guess that works for the female viewers of this film. But I think the point I'm making is that I think Deyemi actually enjoyed, playing this character. I think he had some artistic license as well. I felt there were one or two things that he did in the film that may have been his idea and actually brought a bit of life and dynamism to his character. So, hey, kudos to him on that. Debby Felix, she plays Olivia, and she's the young woman, or one of the two young women who work at the spa where they offer happy endings. And Debby Felix did a good job. There was nothing particularly unique about the character, if you ask me. It felt like the same. I felt like I had seen Debby Felix play the same character a number of other times. But what I found a bit challenging or hard for me to swallow, no pun intended, well, when it comes to happy endings, I don't think there's any swallowing. Forgive me. Let's move along. What I found a bit tough to digest was that they portray her as this, girl next door, as this good girl, right? But I found that hard to believe because this is a woman who works at a spa where on a daily basis she handles different men's Johnsons, giving them happy endings. So, and I found it a bit hard to imagine a character who does that and is also like a girl next door who is also wholesome. I don't think you can see that many Johnsons on a daily basis and still be a wholesome individual. I may be wrong. There may be women out there who are in the streets in a serious way, see several Johnsons on a daily basis, but they look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths. Yeah, moving along. Blessing Jessica Obasi is also in the film. She's the work bestie of Olivia. Her character's name is Shalewa. Blessing is a really good actress, but I don't think her role in this film allowed her to shine because, she's basically just the sidekick, and we only see her in the spa anyway. And to be honest, it felt like anyone could have played that character. There was nothing unique for Blessing to do in this film as her character Shalewa, in my opinion. What I liked, funny enough, I liked the fact that they were able to make an entire film around happy endings without it being crass or overtly risque, right? Because if it was that, then I would have been highly put off. But I liked the fact that they were daring enough to make a movie based on happy endings or around happy endings. Yeah, because in Nollywood and even in Hollywood these days, there are so few new ideas. Things are just being recycled. So seeing a film centered around that, I was wondering and I was curious to see how they'd pull it off, and they actually did. And it wasn't rude, it wasn't filthy, it was what it was. So I guess I liked it based on that. Now, what I didn't like with many of Uduak Isong's films, this movie was incredibly cliche and predictable. Nigerians from like middle and lower class, as well as other Africans in the same social category, seem to have an obsession with films like this, where there's a young woman who is, down on her luck, who, has maybe lost her parents, who is, just suffering or having a tough time in life. And then all of a sudden there's this rich guy who comes into the picture, or maybe who comes from overseas, who can potentially change, her life. And they have this romance, and there's this whole won't they kind of a conflict, and they ultimately, end up together, and he takes her out of penury and suffering. It seems like lots of Africans of a particular social class have an obsession with this kind of theme, or this kind of trope, right? And many of Uduak Isong's films, I believe, told this line. So as a result, you get a lot of cliches, you get a lot of predictable storylines, and I guess I don't enjoy such, even though many other people do. Another thing I didn't enjoy about this film was the makeup. The makeup wasn't fantastic, but more interestingly was how when Debby Felix's character Olivia was either going to bed or waking up from sleep with a full face of makeup and like lip gloss and everything. I mean, I don't see how that can be justified. I don't see, and it happened several times. So yeah, I didn't like that. I also didn't like that there are just so many implausible situations in the thing. For example, there's a part where Timmy sends Olivia a dress to wear because he wants to take her for dinner, but he sends her the dress, she wears the dress, he goes to pick her up, brings her back to his place, they eat, and then they sleep. They don't sleep together, but they just apparently go to bed, and they sleep in the living room on a blanket. Just super cliche and super implausible and just super unnecessary. What else didn't I like about this film? The visual effects. There's a portion of the film where the two main characters are exchanging instant messages or messaging each other, right? And the normal thing, you see the character and then you see the message pop up on the screen, like with iMessage, right? The graphics during that texting back and forth were terrible. They were very hard for me to see. It was just very annoying. It was very tacky, and they could have at least spent a bit more money on whoever the editor was or the graphic artist was to have done that a bit better. That would not have taken much to do, especially after all these movies that Uduak Isong has done. So yeah, those were the things I didn't like about this film. Who should see it? If you're a fan of Uduak Isong's movies, then you've probably already seen this film. But if you haven't, then I think you'll enjoy this film. It's the basic story, like I said, of a girl down on her luck. Maybe, she's lost her parents. She's just struggling. And then she meets this rich guy. And initially they don't like each other, but then they end up liking each other. And they live happily ever after at the end of the film. So yeah, if that's your bag, if that's your cup of tea, then I think you'll enjoy this film. In conclusion, I saw something on Uduak Isong's Instagram while I was researching this film, and Uduak Isong said something in a post, right? She said, We turned Deyemi the actor into a lover boy. Thank God for Tupacs. And then this is the interesting part. I produce the content, market it, distribute it, often with little or no help. Tomorrow, when it comes out, some of you will come and misyan. Nonsense and ingredients, bombastic elements. A happy ending this Tuesday on Uduak Isong TV. So Uduak Isong knows that there are people like me who do not necessarily agree with her films and her filmmaking style. Fair enough, but I will say that there's room for improvement. Her stories can be better. The production value and the cinematography can be better. But that's if you ask me, which she didn't and no one did. Regardless, I will give Uduak Isong credit. She's a woman, she's a savvy businesswoman. She understands her audience and her market. As tacky as I may feel that her films are, as subpar as I may feel that the writing and the stories are, there is a huge market of Nigerians and other Africans and probably people from other nations who love the kinds of films that Uduak Isong makes. And I guess she's rewarded handsomely for, the attention and the eyeballs she gets to her films. Many of her films have millions of views. She's responsible for Selena 1, 2, and 3, which are huge hits, I think, this year and last year. Even I reviewed a couple of those films and I enjoyed, I think, Selena 2. The point I'm making is Uduak Isong understands her audience. She's a savvy businesswoman, irrespective of how low budget her films may look to people like me. And because of that, I will say that even though I'm not her target audience, she should still continue doing what she's doing. There is room for improvement. The films could do with, being a bit better, looking a bit better, being told a bit better, i.e. the stories. But even if she chooses not to change her formula, I think she'll still cash out handsomely if she continues down this path that she's been going. And I guess that's why she's able to get A-listers and really big actors in her films, and her films get millions and millions of views. It's conflicting, right? And it's strange to me, but I understand. And hey, if it makes dollars, it makes sense at the end of the day. So kudos to her, credit to her. She understands her market, and I wish her the best. But I also do wish that her filmmaking style and her storytelling capabilities vastly improve, so that other people can appreciate and enjoy her movies as well. I can't even give a compliment without throwing a few jabs here and there. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please like it by clicking on the like button and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the black subscribe button. On this channel, I don't just do Nollywood movie reviews, I also talk about relationships. To check out some of my past relationship videos or my past Nollywood reviews, you can click the card in the corner of the screen. If you've seen this film, A Happy Ending, or any of Uduak Isong's other films, please let me know what you thought about this film or the other films in the comment section down below. Are you a fan of Uduak Isong's movies? Let me know in the comment section as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you real soon in the next one. Take care.